formality for me to drop the tunes that you can use and try to elevate. I steady life innovate.
We in here. DGambitradio, GoodFellaGang in the building. What's good,
yes, sir. What's happening?
What's good, man? I finally got y'all in the building, man. Yeah. Alright, so let's get it in, man. Let's get right to it, man. So GoodFellaGang, what does that stand for, man? Like, what does that mean when people hear that? What you want them to know when they hear that?
Good fellas. You know what I'm saying? We're good people walking in truth.
Right. Exactly. Good fellas. You know what I'm saying? When you think of a good fella, you think about a couple guys that's on a path of mission. Most of the time when you think about a good fella, you think about a movie.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it's business structure as if anything happened, they do what they do. You feel me? The same thing here. We looking at it as a business. We focusing on it as a business, and we running it like the mafia would. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. We trying to come in here and do our thing at the most of our ability. What we can do.
That's what's up, bro. All right, so tell everybody, tell everybody where y'all from, and you know what I'm saying. What's the mission? What's the main thing that y'all hitting with? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to put the label on it, but you know, now we got the trap music, we got all type of shit. I could just name different genres within hip hop. So what's the shit that y'all coming with, and where y'all from? Let everybody know.
You know, we're from Temple, and I like to call it G-Slide. You know how G-Funk, you know how on the West Coast,
yeah,
the G-Funk, the G-Funk era. You know what I'm saying? I like that G-Slide era.
I like that.
Something new.
G-Slide.
Coming with them funky bass lines.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
I hear it. I hear that shit in the music, bro.
Yeah, we trying to get something that's original, giving original sound, like giving music back, music. You feel me? Trying to give music, like real music, like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't listen to us as an artist, but at the same time, if you just listen to the beat, listen to the sound. What we trying to bring back is actual music where you have different type of sounds inside the beat instead of just that. Instead of that thing that always hit. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time you look in the game, and now it's like a bunch of copycats. Everybody playing the same thing. I look at the music now, like I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I look at the music now and I listen to a lot of the artists that come out, and a lot of them doing their thing. Some of them like, Poli G. I like him. He do his thing. A couple more artists, you know, I can't remember all off of the top of my dome, but I can say, but they all coming with the same sound. If you listen to them, they talking about the same thing. If it ain't about the Ferraris, then it's about the girls. If it ain't about the girls, then it's about the struggle. If it ain't about the struggle, then it's about the killing. You know what I'm saying? But there's nobody really giving you a growth here. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that you should be mainstream, only focus on those things, because what's an album without versatility?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You gotta have those type of songs. Songs like for the club, songs like for the girl, songs like, you know what I'm saying, to let them know that you ain't playing. Songs like, you know what I'm saying, to let them know where you been, where you from. And at one time in the game, you have to elevate after you tell me that story. Now, you told me you came out the hood, sleeping on the bando, sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the rug, covers, nah. You know what I'm saying? You told me that. I got that part. You feel me?
Word.
Now tell me who you are.
Right.
You feel me? Now tell me more. When I look at some of these artists, I look at, you know what I'm saying, the build up, okay, we seen you coming in, seen you doing your thing. Now, when you get to that point, most artists, they can't elevate from that. Because I done gave you my best already. I done gave you everything I had. So now, the years go by and you start to fade away in the background. Only those who are good, that's able to adapt and that's able to elevate and reinvent themselves. You feel me? Reinvent themselves when they in the music are the ones that last and have that longevity of a career.
That's that part right there, man. That's that game, man. Now let me ask you this, because a lot of times we get to this conversation, and I always ask people, do you think it's like a barrier? You know what I'm saying? That's in your way. A lot of people have a mentality, they think maybe it's something in their way. Not an obstacle, but more like a wall, a force, something that they can't get by. Do you subscribe to that, or do you think you could make your own way?
Make your own way.
Yeah, most definitely make
That's
your own
the
way.
Kanye question, the sway shit.
Yeah.
That's what Kanye got mad about at the point of that one interview when he was like, "Why can't you just make your own clothes and shit like that?" Because he was talking about the Gucci's and shit.
But see, in each, it's like
How sway?
like Nick Mill said, it's levels.
Right.
You feel me? At certain levels, there is no real thing that you could possibly say that can stop you. As you grow, as the lid up here, this is the lid. If the lid don't elevate, the only barrier you have is the lid. You know what I'm saying? If the lid ain't elevating in that type of style of business, and I don't know Kanye West on his fashion because I don't really follow him in the fashion industry. I don't really follow him in his products, his clothing and all that stuff. I really, that's just me being honest, truthfully, I don't follow him like that. But what I can say is, it's a game like any other game. You know what I'm saying? It's made to be played. So now you come in the game, you know it's certain pieces on the board already, and those certain pieces on the board already gonna have their way with it. Why? Because they've been here. They got what you call seniority. Yes. They've been in the game already so long, so they can make a phone call and out of respect, that happen, that move. As soon as they say, "Hey, this is what it is. This is what I want. This is what I want to happen," and it'll move just like that. You know what I'm saying? So you knowing that coming in, you already know that these people are here.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Most people, when they get into those type of things, they tear them barriers down, or they tear, which they would call a barrier, which is the people that's already in the game. They would say that's a barrier. He will stop me. Instead of them coming in the game and saying, "Okay, that's an opportunity. That's a chance. I need to get to know him. I need to get to know what he's doing. He been in the game this long. What are you doing that allows you to have this longevity?"
Word.
Instead of me becoming your enemy, become your friend, become your partner, do business with you. Why? Because now once I build this with you, my reputation speaks more than my money. You see what I'm saying? Because with my reputation, I make money. I create money through reputation.
That's right.
When a person comes to you, they say, "Hey, I want you to do this." Or you come to them and say, "Hey, I want to do this." First thing both of y'all gonna think is, "Well, what have you been doing? How do I know that me doing this gonna benefit me?"
Right.
Or how do I know that I even want to stand by what you standing on?
Right.
Because I don't really know
That
you.
shit is important.
You see what I'm saying? Because that might blemish my image.
Right.
That might mess up my brand. Because everybody got a brand. Everybody is their own company. If you understand those things coming in the game, there is no barrier.
Now I see y'all with the shirts on, and you talking about branding. So speak to the folks about that shit, man, because I don't think a lot of people understand. You throw some shit out, you let it get hot, even if it do get hot, and then you let it cool off. Now you got to start all over again because they forgot about you. Well, tell these people about the brand. I see y'all smashing through the city. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, tearing shit down with the shirts on. You know what I mean? So tell these people about branding. You know what I mean? The importance of a brand. What's the difference between a brand and just a rapper?
The importance in that, man, rapping, like say you get paid, you go to the studio and you do a little freestyling, and you just playing around with your homies. But as far as in branding, say you take that same music that you have put the work in, and you get the artwork for it. Like you invest more into it. Far as in building up awareness on what you got going on as an artist. Because the average rapper just gonna rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's more than just rapping. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be on time for shows. You gotta be willing to network. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So branding play a big part of getting yourself out there. Because if you don't brand, who gonna know? Who gonna know?
They ain't gonna remember.
You know what I'm saying? You know why Pepsi and Coca-Cola, all those brands popping? Because they advertise. They everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like what Jay Real say. It's a song. Jay Real. Shout out to that boy Jay Real Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Jay Real Promotion. We everywhere. That's his thing. That's his slogan.
Yeah,
I bless with that boy.
Shout out to Jay.
Shout out to him. But like Jay Real said to me one day, we had a conversation. He said this to me, and I understood it. Plain and simple. He said, you know, as an artist come in, you feel me? He's an artist at that point, meaning that he has creativity and he's able to conjure up this creativity and give it into a product form and give it to you.
Right.
That's what he's able to do.
Right.
When he comes into the brand, he comes from just him doing this as a hobby, because most people that come into music, it's a hobby at first. They just, you could say they semi-serious at what they doing. But when you have a brand, it becomes from serious to what?
Dead serious.
Dead serious.
You gotta.
So now everything that you do has to give this form. It has to look like this. It has to be presented like this. It has to talk like this. Everything that you're doing has to look like that. So when we come into a spot, our goal is come in and give good music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when we give that good music, we want people to feel good. We want them to have a good time in here. We don't want them to be in here mugging, because we done did all that. What my boy say, I done did all the frowning. I done did all the frowning I can do.
For sure.
You feel me?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And then
the party back into
Yeah, trying to bring, because when you look at hip hop,
Like
that was something that we had to stress
Right.
back in the days.
Right.
So do you think it's going back to that? Like we had the different eras and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then when we got to, like when I was running around doing shit in 2005, 6, 7, 8, like it was a lot of shit to where they was like, this shit is garbage. Even Nas was like, hip hop is dead and shit like that. And then now we coming with some shit to where people coming with the lyrics and shit.
Yeah.
And you think that shit then came back around?
I think it's starting to surface, because it's a one young artist, man. He on XXL Freshman's List. He done did a couple shows with Sway. He did a show with the Sway. He did one with the BET.
Yeah.
And it's with your boy, what's his name? Toby. No, not something. He got an African name. But it's a youngster that I seen, man. He had this hip hop flavor jam that he was doing that I seen just flipping through Instagram. So I could see where the approach is being happening. Like I can see the approach starting to happen. I can see the people starting to get to that feel. Now with the people that's still lost and still feel like they riding this wave, they about to fall to the wayside.
Cause you gotta, you're right, and you gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the song Black Man.
That's that. I was gonna ask you about that. Let's get into it.
Kodak Black. I heard a song they just made, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't heard that yet.
If you see from Kodak Black from when he started, right, to now, you could tell it evolved.
Yeah.
You feel me? Of from that era to what's the era that's about to come.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To what's coming to the table.
Right.
Him reinventing himself.
Right.
That shit is.
And that's
dope.
even from the beats on down to the lyrical form.
These motherfuckers is rapping now. I'm listening.
Right.
And I'm like, okay.
A lot of females too, though. A lot of
Yeah,
females.
shout out to the females.
Hey, hey. It's a lot of females. Shout out to Cool to Be. You know what I'm saying? One for a GoodFellaGang team. It's Cool to Be, man. There's a lot of females out here coming up too, just as well.
Sure.
Snapping. I see some of them like, dang, some of these girls out here really like going harder than the dudes to me sometimes.
Yeah, real talk.
Like, I don't really like feeling like that.
Yeah.
Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? We in Tampa, so you know it's a city boy moment. So it's I say, hey, that's points to them. I give the city girls, not just the city girls, but I'm saying the hot girls that's out here doing what they doing.
Right.
I give them. Yeah, I see y'all. I see a lot of them. Like a lot of them was on the freshman. If you watch the freshman this year, 2019, where they had the baby, them girls was every round with the girls was on it. They was doing their thing.
Hey, shout out to hip hop, man. This shit is evolving and taking it somewhere. So look, let me ask y'all this. So where do y'all plan to take the game where it's never been before? Like what are we gonna get from y'all that we can't get from nowhere else? Like a good cook, you know what I mean? You can't get quite that taste, you know what I mean? It's that recipe You know what I mean? And y'all, and y'all music, and anybody look, man, y'all go check this shit out, man, because the y'all music got that sound, like I was saying off camera. You know what I mean? That it's like music. It's like musical. I'm probably saying that shit wrong. It's a musicality to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we here with you. We here with you.
You know what I mean? That type of vibe, and it's like we got the hard hitting shit out here. You know what I mean? We got some good ass beats, like some of the best beats ever now in the game that's out here now. But like, what y'all shit is different. That shit sound fun, hard at the same time, street, and then I can hear the message in that shit. All of that.
Right.
So, what's y'all niche? Then where y'all trying to take it to? Can't nobody get that from nobody else.
Well, you know, one, we giving them that southern funk. You feel me? We giving them a flavor. You know what I'm saying? We mixing a lot of different things. We mixing the old Outkast. You feel me?
Yeah,
and we also mixing it because when you think about GoodFellaGang, it's a group of us. You know,
Right.
we just the two that's here. But it's more than that, because each one of us got a lane that we can go down. You feel me? And each one of us have a highlight where we can say, okay, if I'm looking for a song like a pain song, I know who to go to in the group. And let's create this. And he gonna be, cause this is what he specializes in.
Word.
You feel me? If I'm looking for a futuristic song, something that's newer in the newer ages, that type of feel, I can go to Kid Pluto. That's one of the guys that's in GoodFellaGang. Shout out to that boy Kid Pluto. You know what I'm saying? We go to Kid Pluto due to the fact that that's the type of feel he give. You know what I'm saying? We go to TKnoB. Oh man. You know, if you listen to the album TV State of Mind, right? TKnoB style. Y'all need to go check that album out. It's Apple.
Yeah, where can they check it out?
Google Play, they can check that out. It's out on digital platforms.
Hell yeah.
And when you listen to TKnoB, you listening to a different type of rugged feel, but a good flavor. You feel me? You getting a mixture of ruggedness. You know what I'm saying? Edges ain't already brushed up. You in the chair and you go right before the barbershop. You feel me? And then you get that same sense with that flavor after the barbershop, how he look. You know what I'm saying? You still getting that same flavor when you listen to TKnoB. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to R&B, we got that boy, Mr. Newsom. Shout out to him. That do that R&B thing. He do it very well, very well.
I know y'all gotta spit out that boy church.
Now, when you talking about, you know what I'm saying, we taking the hip hop, but we just throwing the beat, cypher mode. You got that boy Cairo G, and you got that boy E-Man. Them two right there, them the top hitters right there when it comes to that. But each thing that we're trying to cover each ground when we start to move. You feel me? Like even now, you know, we got the show coming up. August 11th, right? August 11th, Sunday Fun Day. Just to let y'all know, Medusa Lounge, we got that coming up. And that's what we dropping out one of our first singles as a group. You feel me? Because we've been working on those things as well. We're working on plenty of projects.
And I said we bring in the flavor of unity.
Exactly.
Like
something that's missing.
We bring that real back. You know what I'm saying? We bring that authentic back. You know.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Like
Public Enemy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we trying to bring that's that hip hop feel. When I was watching something exactly where that hip hop feel was actually there. When people was really like, oh my God. Oh my God. You feel me? They was really like feeling that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in a newer sense. Let's brush it off a little bit, but we're gonna get it another flavor.
The content is gonna have to always be about the money, the cars, the clothes, the women. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more going on in this world than those 4 things that I just named.
Yeah. So we talking about self-worth just as well as yourself, the motivation. I got plenty of things that we working on. They got motivational songs to motivate you. We got things that's, you know what I'm saying, a flavor of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Just out here understanding different moves that you can make. You feel me? Opportunities, how to take them. You feel me? How to really choke them out. You feel me? That's what we try to do.
All right, so look, I want to get your piece on this shit because I got some documentaries and shit that I'm working on and shit, and one of them is like like the whole "Make America Great Again" shit, right? And I'm gonna get different takes on that shit. I even want to get the take on like people who really strongly believe that shit. They got their Confederate flags and shit like that, or whatever. We were meeting in the neutral location or whatever and shit like that. I ain't gonna go to their backwoods and shit, but.
Hey, you doing the right thing. Life is that. Hey, what it say? Preserve life at all costs.
Hell yeah. What does that type of shit mean to you when you start seeing what's going on? We got the shit going. We got the babies in the cages and shit. We got your man doing shit like Hitler almost. You know what I mean? They talking about people coming in and taking over and shit. They've been trying to control the narrative on niggas. But it was what out of 300 something shootings last year?
Yeah.
Mass shootings? Yeah. That's worse than Chicago. With them bodies, them singular bodies, 300 bodies in Chicago, they like, damn, these niggas animals. But we talking about 300 occasions where multiple people was killed.
Yeah. Like,
and they was all
acts.
white, mostly for the most part, 97% white, male, like white supremacists. So how do you feel about that type of shit that's going on? How do you feel about the fact that we can't even have an interview and skip that shit if we talk about the whole world right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? How you feel about that?
I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's something that need to be talked about more. That's something that need to be brought to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Fearless. You feel me? Because, you know, it's like this. When was America great?
Yeah. Especially when it was good on
what are you referring to?
When our people was in slavery?
Right. Exactly.
Like, you know, so that's an excellent question. That would be the first question that I would have to ask somebody. When was it actually great? When we was out here bombing, when we was out here taking people's stuff, or when we was doing the slavery? Like, when was it great? What I can say is it's a controversy call, because the first thing is, like he said, when was America great? It ain't, you know, if you want to go statistic wise, there's no real thing that you can say besides the understanding that it gives opportunities, even though opportunities are scarce for the black man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Not saying that it's a boundary there, because we got people that came over here, and when they came over here, their only thing was what? To preserve life. So they did the long hours. You gotta think to yourself, our ancestors was here and did 18-hour shifts. So when we go to a job, or we go to hustling, we go to do what we doing, that ain't nothing. They did 18-hour shifts all day, went to sleep and ate slop for their kids. And if the kid didn't make it, he grew hungry. That was it for him. So when you looking at those type of situations, you gotta think about, we as a people that came out a lot. We done been standing strong in a lot. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of opportunities that's out here that we can grab hold to. Some of them we just not taking. That's just the honest truth. You feel me? The honest truth. Some of them we just not taking. Like, not taking at all, period. So, like I say, when we talk about America being great, we are part of that. We are part of that. Big part. So the biggest thing is, to make it great, for real, we got to start stepping up and really sitting on the throne that was always ours from the beginning. When the time we got here, when we started building things for you, when we started doing this for you, when you let us go and we started showing you that we can outclass you. You feel me? We can outgrab you. We the farmers. You ain't the farmer. You let the farmer go and thought that, you know what I'm saying, we weren't gonna survive, but we farmers.
So how important is it that people that's out here right now know what's going on and know their history, especially the black man, to know your history?
That's very important. I mean, it all depends on what type of history you're trying to know. Because one, you can know our history as a black people. That right there is very important. That's something that you need to teach to your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, the goal is the elevation of the people, getting the people to the next level, getting the people to the next step, getting them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's one step at a time, it's a ladder, we climbing it. One step at a time, one grab at a time, one step at a time, one grab at a time. That's what we doing. So the goal for that is very, very, very important. But in history of music just as well, understand that. I got a couple friends, I'll tell them, hey, you know this dude? You know what I'm saying? Black people that was a singer. Like, no, I ain't never heard him.
Yeah.
But that's we losing the culture all around.
Let's go to camp, that's all I know. That's all I know, that's all I know. Yeah.